race fans, Ryan Aho here with the One to Go Show, bringing you week 2 of our grassroots show featuring the Wissota Hornets, primarily Wissota. There's a couple non-sanctioned tracks we'll throw in there as well, but the Hornets, the Pure Stocks, the Mod 4s. First, we're going to do a little recap. What happened last week? I know what's coming out on Friday. There was racing last night when you're watching this, but we're gonna work on it, folks. We're gonna work on trying to get this out a little earlier in the week, but man, is it tough to find time to watch all the racing, and it's only going to get crazier here as the season kind of gets underway after Memorial Day weekend. So a little shout out to our friends over at East Central Sports, right? You know, if you're racing, some of these pit areas are really, really big, right? Some of these, I mean, it feels like you park a mile from the racetrack, right? Well, get yourself a pit bike. Where can you get a pit bike? Minnesota's #1 youth power sports dealer. Yes, that's right. East Central Sports. He's a Hornet driver himself, so supports racing, sponsors a lot of stuff, including us here at the One to Go Show. So thanks a lot to him for that. But that's where you look for first. They have a lot of other great products there, but get yourself a pit bike. Why not an SSR 125cc pit bike, right? You know, he's got a lot of stuff. He'll take good care of you. You'll see a lot of them going around the pits here in 2023. So let's get to it. Let's talk a little racing action this past weekend. There was some darn good racing going on. And, you know, I say this all the time. You know, we love late models. We love sprint cars. We love modifieds. But some of these classes that maybe don't cost quite as much money put on some incredible racing. And a lot of these drivers, as you know, are the future of our sport. So we want to give them the love that they deserve. So, last week, let's start in Minnesota. The Fiesta City Speedway over in Montevideo. Adam Vandersteen parked it in Victory Lane. That was our Hornet special. I think it was $250 to win, I believe. I'm not positive on that. But he finally got it done. You know, he's been kind of itching for a win a little bit. Last year, he won a pile of races. Vandersteen with a great win over in Montevideo. Granite City Motor Park, Sauk Rapids. How about this? First of the year for the reigning Wissota. Of course, I got stuff jumping on my screen as we're going here. What in the heck is going on? So your reigning Wissota Hornet national champion, Justin Schlitsky, he parked it in Victory Lane. Kind of a dominating win over there. The track, a little better, right? One corner was significantly better. The other corner, not so much. And I feel like just a little bit more, you know, a couple more weeks here, a little bit of good weather. They'll have that place underway. But Justin, great run, man. Kind of give it to him over there pretty good. And started out, I wasn't really sure how long it was going to take that first win, but he got it. Let's go over to a couple northern tracks here. Hibbing Raceway, Saturday night, they had their season opener up there, and the Halberline Speedway in Proctor, Minnesota. The 14A, A.J. House, what a weekend he had. He actually doubled up on the weekend, and I believe he got second. He did at the Gondik Law Speedway on Friday as well. Absolutely incredible. And looking at this here, he had a pretty darn good race there in Hibbing. There was a couple cars right in the mix, kind of. He didn't just flat out drive away. A couple of youngsters over there right on his heels. But AJ House, what an incredible weekend. A second and a pair of wins for the driver from Duluth. Now let's jump over to the I-94 EMR Speedway, Fergus Falls. It's not a Wissota class. It is what it is. I wish this guy could maybe jump in and race some Wissota stuff, but I do like the fact that some tracks are non-sanctioned. Nothing against, you know, Hornets or whatever getting national points, but some tracks feel that they want to keep their grassroots classes at a grassroots level. Nothing wrong with that at all. But the Zero, Sean Beto, he put it to him last year. He had a pile of wins over there, and he's already a couple weeks in got his first win of the season over in Fergus Falls. Ogilvie Raceway, how about the Big O? Both of these tracks had the Challenge Series, and the late models were there as a support class, of course, for the Hornets, right? That's kind of the way we look at it. The late model racing was really good. It actually was. But Joseph Wilbur in the OK car, one win in 2022 already, parking in Victory Lane here in May, getting it done. Can he double that, triple that? Who knows? We're going to see. But he had a pretty good hot rod at Ogilvie. Viking Speedway in Alexandria, the high-flying half mile. They got their season underway. Short trackers there, the two of Cole Campson. Great run for him. Started 7th. Sounds like the guy got DQ'd there. Not sure what that was all about. Sounds like maybe short exhaust. I didn't get a chance to talk to the tech guy. 15 cars over there, though. That's pretty cool. It's great to see double-digit car count, 15 cars for the Hornets over in Alexandria, Minnesota. Let's head out to South Dakota. Casino Speedway. This one was interesting. So Carter Matthews was in Hibbing, Minnesota, right, on Saturday. Literally drove all the way over to Watertown, South Dakota, the Casino Speedway. Proctor's 70 miles away from Hibbing, 60 miles, something like that. He went all the way to Watertown. I was shocked, but it paid off. He parked in the Clearbook driver, 10 cars, drove all the way there, parked it in Victory Lane, his first of the year. They're hungry. They're going to chase. They're going to race a bunch. You're going to see him all over the map. Good to see the second generation driver getting that first win out of the way. I think there's going to be a lot more to come. Let's head over to Wisconsin. Jim Falls, Jerry's World, the Eagle Valley Speedway, another non-sanctioned Hornet class. The 19C, Jay Holte, he parked in Victory Lane. It was a Gary Blazer Memorial. They only had 8 cars over there, but still, a win is a win. That's a pretty solid win. 1 win in 22, got 1 win already in 23, and he's going to look to add to that as the season progresses. Gondik Law Speedway up in Superior, Wisconsin. I say this all the time. If you hate summer, go to Superior, Wisconsin. You'll fit right in because it is unbelievably cold. I think it was in the high 40s. I mean, it was. I hope it's warmer this weekend for the Mod Nationals. But the 20D Derek Dunbar from Iron River, 1 win in 22, right? Actually, I'm looking at this. That's not 1 win in 22. I can't read my own notes sometime. First career win for Derek Dunbar. Congratulations. That's fantastic. And I asked him, I said, there's a lot of Dunbars that race, right? I remember Dwayne Dunbar, right? I remember Rick Dunbar from Duluth. I remember Marcus Dunbar still racing. No relation. Well, coincidence, right? Dunbar, Victory Lane, that's just the way it works. Glad to see him get number 1 out of the way. Red Cedar Speedway, Menominee, Wisconsin. They had a lot of stuff going on there. They did not get the Hornets in. They're going to run that here this coming week. So let's jump into it. Let's jump into the buyraceshirts.com one to go show Hornet Power Rankings, the second installment. We had the first installment, a little bit of a shakeup, move some stuff around here a little bit after week number 1. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch as much Hornet racing as I probably should have in 2022. So there's going to be a little bit of movement here, especially in the first month, right? We're going to see things happen. We're going to shuffle. And we did just that. Now, this kid right here, keep an eye on this name. He was very impressive week number 1 at 10. I'm going to put a driver, Tristan McLean, okay? He had 1 win last year, okay? First weekend of the season, 2 seconds. And he was there. In Hibbing, he was there. He was right there contending for the win. So Tristan McLean at number 10. So I'll talk a little bit about buyracers.com. I should probably do that. I'll do that again in the show. But if you need hats, shirts, apparel, right? I mean, all racers want that kind of stuff. You get it for your sponsors. Go to buyraceshirts.com. Jordan and the crew down in Montevideo have a great program. You can buy any quantities. Check them out. At number 9, let's go with Matthew Dittman here. Like I said, 2 wins last year, 21 wins in 2021. Kind of a little controversy at the end. Only 1 race so far in 23. He got 2nd. I don't believe he raced this past weekend, but I feel like if he gets after it here, Dittman is a guy that's going to get a lot of wins throughout the season. I'm going to jump to number 8 here. I slid him all the way down because he kind of moved around. He's running some IMCA stuff. Probably going to bounce him back and forth as the season progresses. But I'm going to put Nathan Cole here at number 8. 1 WISSOTA show, right? 1 win. But the fact is, how much WISSOTA stuff is he going to race? I don't know that. Haven't been able to be in contact with him to kind of find out, but I'm going to try to do that over the weekend here, see if I can learn a little bit more about his schedule. At number 7, I slid this kid back a little bit. Dad's going to be mad. It's okay. Get this kid in victory lane. We'll get him back up top, right? Justin Barsness. They're hungry. He's going to do double duty. Is that going to be a distraction? He's going to run a Wissota Pure Stock and a Hornet. Double duty is tough, especially for a kid, right? You know, you're transitioning back. I mean, going from front wheel drive to rear wheel drive and back and forth, that could be a challenge. Let's see how that kid handles it. This year, 4 shows, 1 podium, got a couple DNFs in there. He did get a 3rd place finish this weekend, but we'll see if he can maybe rebound and get in victory lane before too long. He won some big shows last year. At number 6, guy we talked about from over, runs over at Viking, runs at Fergus, Sean Beto, 11 wins last year. This week, he parked in victory lane. He's got a 5th and a 1st on the year. The year's still young. I have a feeling double-digit wins for this driver. I know, not Wissota sanctioned. That's okay. Still is going to run a lot of shows in the short tracker division, and I expect to see him winning a bunch of races. At number 5, a kid that we talked about already here today too, Carter Matthews, 2nd-generation driver. This past weekend, he got 2nd, right? 2 events, 1st and a 2nd. Oh, I'm looking at this wrong. Man, oh man, I tell you, I got to do this a little earlier in the day. I'm going to jump back here. This week, a DNF in a 5th. So it's kind of the way that kind of the season had gone, but then he parks it in victory lane over at the Casino Speedway. 6 shows. He does have a couple podiums on the year. I have big expectations for both him and Barsness. I know I'm a homer. Northern Minnesota drivers, I expect to see them winning races. I feel like that's going to happen. They're right on the cusp of having a really, really good hot rod and a national championship contender in both of those drivers. Number 4, Peter Martin, the driver. This week he got a 2nd place finish. He only ran 1 night this weekend. 2 events on the year, 1st and a 2nd, not too shabby, right? In fact, he drove around Dittman to get it done, I believe, at Fergus Falls. Peter Martin, a guy that runs up front pretty much all the time, and I expect to see him doing that as we go through Memorial Day weekend. Number 3, Adam Vandersteen, 18 wins last year, right? Is he going to be more or less than that in 2023? Well, this week he knocked one down, right? He got 1 win, his 1st of the season, and a 4th place finish off the podium. But I expect to see him, as long as he can stay out of trouble, kind of had a couple issues there early in the year. I can see him contending for a lot of wins and really be the strongest force out in his area. Number 2, and I moved this guy way, way up after this past weekend, AJ House. Unbelievable weekend. 1st weekend of the year for him last weekend, a 2nd and a pair of wins. It don't get much better than that. He texted me. He says, I'm going to be racing a lot. I know he's going to come up to Grand Rapids. I know he's going to bounce around a lot. Expect to see House contending for a national championship. Expect to see him multiple double digits. He could be 10, 15, or higher. He's going to be strong here in 2023. And at number 1, finally got his 1st win out of the way after, like, you name it, couple DNFs in there, right? Justin Shalitsky. He's your reigning national championship. Once he kind of gets rolling here, look out, right? Look out. 18 last year. Can he be over? Can he be less? I'm not really sure. But he had a dominating win over at Granite City, and I expect to see more of that over this coming weekend. Now, let's jump over into the Pure Stock division. We'll talk a little results first. We'll head down to the Fiesta City Speedway in Montevideo. Colton Schuler, not Ty Schuler, Colton Schuler, he got it done. His 1st win at his home track of Montevideo, 2nd career win. That's the younger brother of Ty. Congratulations. Good to see you in victory lane. I expect to see more of that. And tell you, if you're going to bet on a couple of drivers to win races at Monty, bet on the Schulers. They're going to have a lot of wins this year. Halberline Speedway over in Proctor. Here's a guy to keep an eye on. He had a pair of wins this weekend. And I mentioned this. Corey Jorgensen, he moved out of the Pure Stocks into the Midwest Mods. Chad Finkbone moved. He's not racing, right? He's not racing this year. That leaves the door open for somebody. Who is that somebody? Who's that going to be? Well, Aaron Bernick, he stood the challenge, right? A pair of wins on the weekend. He won both at the Halberline Speedway in Proctor, and he was on the front row at Rice Lake. Makeup Features opted out of it, went to the ABC Raceway. He's planning on running there weekly for a track championship. So good to see him supporting the track that he's going to race at. It paid off. He got it in Victory Lane. He had one win in all of 2022, right? Racing against Jorgensen and, Finkbone, right? I mean, that's going to happen. He has two already. We're not even to the end of May. So it's going to be a big year. Aaron Bernick looking pretty darn good. ABC Raceway, like I said, he got it done there. Eagle Valley Speedway in Jim Falls. Tell you get down in Jim Falls area, the Richards family, they just flat out win. This one here, George Richards, his first night out here in 2023, the Gary Blazer Memorial. Congratulations to the 5R parking in Victory Lane in Jim Falls, Wisconsin. Here's another interesting one to me. Gondik Speedway, Superior, Wisconsin, the 86J, second generation driver, Jake Smith. I know there's 700 Jake Smiths out there that race. Clearly they all win. That's a good name to have. Jake Smith. They just win races. His dad, Don Smith, hell of a race car driver. Don Smith won in the street stocks, the Midwest mods. Heck, he won in the street claimer class. If you know, you know. That's in Grand Rapids, right? He won in Supers, Midwest mods. He's now in an A mod. He's won in everything, right? And his kid, I kind of questioned, is he going to have that hunger? Is he going to race as much as dad? At first, it didn't seem like that. They've been kind of bouncing all over the place. I'm super excited to see that he went to Superior. I did not expect to see him there. The 62nd season opener, Jake Smith hit pay dirt, parked in Victory Lane, 19 years old, third year racing, second career win. Congratulations, Jake Smith. I look forward to seeing more of you in Victory Lane. Rice Lake Speedway. Nope. It wasn't a couple drivers that I was thinking about. I'm thinking Ryan Olson. I'm thinking Travis Hazelton. How about Rob Grabon? He parked in Victory Lane in the makeup feature. Aaron Bernick went to Ashland, right? But there's some pretty good pure stocks down there in Rice Lake. Grabon got it done. And then in the main event, James Ron, the 23R, his first of the year. Now, I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to stats and old nostalgia and old racing. And I remembered I had a picture back from like the 90s of, I thought it was Jim Ron, right? Turns out I believe that's what it was. That's his dad. I texted him. I'm like, is that your dad? He goes, yeah, it sure was. I'm like, well, holy crap, that's pretty cool. So that just means I'm getting old. That's what that means. But congratulations, James Ron, on getting it into Victory Lane. So let's jump into the buyraceshirts.com one to go show pure stock power rankings, the second installment. A little bit of a change up here at number 10. Maybe could be higher. Could be over the next week or so. Jake Smith from Cohasset, Minnesota. This past weekend, he won at Gondik. He got second at Proctor as well. His dad could wheel a car. Look out. This kid probably can too. Number 9, Ty Schuler over in Montevideo. 3 shows, 3 podiums. He's right there. Yeah, I know brother beat you, but 3 shows, 3 podiums, super consistent. I think he's still going to be the guy to beat there this year. Keep an eye on Ty Schuler. At number 8, Chasten Finkbone. Maybe could be higher, right? He hasn't really got out yet. He's going to get started here. Well, this show's coming out on Friday. It just is what it is, right? So by now, he will have already raced on Thursday. Maybe he wins Thursday. I'm going to call it right now. Chasten Finkbone, win Thursday. We'll call it. I don't know. We'll find out. But Chasten Finkbone, I tell you, with Dad kind of in his corner, Dad won a lot of races. Dad absolutely knows how to make them pure stocks go around the track. Chasten's hungry, third generation driver, so probably could be higher, but right now I'm going to put him at 8. At number 7, Tyler Kaczynski. He got second at the Gondik Speedway opener. That's his only show so far this year, the National Rookie of the Year in 2022. He could be one of those drivers to kind of fill that void with a couple of the heavy hitters leaving. Bernick, already looking strong. Jake Smith, already looking strong. Can Tyler Kaczynski get some wins this year? He had 3 last year. We'll find out. At number 6, Austin Carlson. Another third generation racer right there. Hasn't raced yet this year. So we're going to kind of move things around as we get going. I know it's a little early, but Austin Carlson is one of the drivers that actually beat head-to-head, beat Chad Finkbone. That means that he's probably going to be pretty darn strong in 2023. Keep an eye on the 57. I slid this guy back to 5. I just don't know where to put him. He's not going to be able to race against any of these drivers. But Alex Mira, 11 wins last year, hasn't raced yet. I don't know if he's going to be at Winnipeg or not on Thursday. I'm not positive, but the Winnipeg, Manitoba driver, he's the guy to beat up north of the border. They're not tied in with WISSOTA Pure Stocks. They have the northern region up there. I'm not even sure what the rules are, but I know this cat flat out wins races. At number 4, we're going to put Travis Hazelton, the Eagle Valley champ from last year, 11 wins last year. He has 4 shows, 3 top 5s, not on the podium yet. He had a couple of mishaps. He was in a podium spot at Jim Falls at the opener. Maybe played a little bumper tag. Yeah, had a little mishap there in Rice Lake. So Hazelton is a guy that I can see him definitely in the double-digit category. Not the best start for him, but he's going to be there. Keep an eye on him. At number 3, Ryan Olson, another second-generation driver. 8 wins last year. 4 shows so far this year. 3 seconds and a 5th. Yeah, the 5th, it happens, right? But 3 seconds, one of those seconds should have been a win. It just is what it is. That race at Jim Falls, he got a little bumper tag there from Hazelton on the restart. Probably should have won that race. It just happens. At number 2, and I slid this cat way up. He had a really good start to the season. We're going to put Aaron Burnick in at number 2. 3 shows, a 4th, and a pair of wins. Pretty darn solid. He could be the guy filling that void up north in the pure stock class, primarily Superior, Ashland, and Proctor. Keep an eye on that 17. And at number 1, he hasn't been out yet, but he had 12 wins last year. This kid was absolutely hungry at the end of last year. He chased after trying to get as high as he could in the national standings, was just outside that top 2. But Josh Berg, I'm going to put him number 1 right now. A little premature. I know he hasn't really raced, but he will be a national champion contender. And you just keep an eye on that 35B. And I said it here. You heard it here first. He's my pick right now to win the Natty. A lot of work to do, a lot of races to be won, some good race car drivers here, but he's my pick right now. Let's jump over to the Mod 4s here. Little racing here this past weekend in the Mod 4s as well. Let's start with Minnesota, Granite City Motor Park. Dustin Holtquist, 2nd win of the year for the reigning national champion. Great job, little rodeo type track over there. They're going to get it together. They are. Just give them some love. It's been a little rough, but he got through the whoop section there pretty good. So Holtquist, we're going to give him a little shout out. He's going to be hungry. He's a little bit irritated right now with a couple things, how the point structure works, but we'll talk about that in a minute. North Central Speedway over in Brainerd, the 17 of David Slovic. 2nd career win. Only other win was July of 2022. So that's pretty cool. Your 2nd win, it's about a year, not quite a year ago that he got his 1st win. Let's hope that he gets his 2nd win a heck of a lot sooner. Congratulations, Dave. Princeton Speedway. Well, we'll stick with the Holtquist name, not Dustin, but this one's dad. Bob got her done. 2nd straight win at P-Town over there. So tell you what, there's some pretty good hot rods over in P-Town. There's not a lot of them. The car count's a little bit light. It just kind of is at some places. But Holtquist with his 2nd straight win in Princeton. And I don't know who's going to be the first guy to beat him over there. Let's go up to South Dakota here. Black Hill Speedway, Rapid City, South Dakota. The 37 of Dean Larson making the long haul out west again. And that's got a couple people that got their undies in a bunch here a little bit. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? You went out there, the Pennock driver, flat out motivated. He's doing whatever it's going to take to win that national championship. And, you know, you locked up 20 wins right away. It's going to be pretty tough to catch them. There's some drivers in the area that are going to have some work to do. Let's put it that way. So he went out to Rapid City, got it done. He also went to Sheridan. 2nd of the week, 9th win of the year. You heard that right. 9 wins. It's not even Memorial Day yet. 9 wins already. That is unbelievable. The Silver Bullet right now is, I don't know, the Silver Bullet is making some trips out west is what it looks like, but it is what it is, right? Gillette Thunder Speedway out in Gillette. How about the double O? Jeff Kittle, first of the year, didn't race last year, right? So his first race of the year, parked at Victory Lane. Pretty good car count. 17 cars out there in Gillette. So really strong contingent of Mod 4s in Gillette. Jeff Kittle coming home first. So let's head over to the buyraceshirts.com. One to go show Mod 4 power rankings. A little bit of a mix up here, right? Oh, some people are not real happy with some drivers right now. It just is what it is. But there's going to be some controversy. I hope a few of these guys make a little run at it. At number 10, we're going to put Brady Taylor. I called him Brady last week. It's Braddy. It's Brady, though. So try having a last name Aho. Okay, so I get it, right? But he had one win last year, rookie season. He had 25 top fives. His first event of the season was Gillette. He got 6, okay? 17 cars, so that's pretty solid. It's not like 6 out of 8. So Brady Taylor, I have a feeling. I watched a few races of his. I have a feeling that he's gonna be that guy contending for 5, 6, 7 wins. He's gonna win some races out west. At number 9, Tristan Torres, 8 wins last year. That was extremely solid. He's got 1 event in this year. It was a DNF. So it's early. It's early in the season. We got a long time to kind of see how this all shakes out. At number 8, I'm gonna slide Jeff Kittle up into the 8th spot. Didn't race last year, but he has 1 show or 2 shows, right? He ran this week. He got a first and a second. I tell you what, when you take a year off, you come back out, you get 2 races in, you get a first and a second. That's pretty darn impressive. So he's got 6 shows in all, 5 podiums, a win, DNF in there. But this weekend, he's kind of turned the wick up a little bit. Keep an eye on Jeff Kittle, out from Casper, Wyoming, actually. Number 7, this is a second-generation driver as well. I slid him up here in the power rankings. Didn't have him in the top 10 last week. Probably should have, to be honest with you. Tommy Pagonis, the 04. This week, a 6th, 2nd, and a 3rd. So 2 podiums and 3 races, but 7 shows, 4 podiums, and he had a really nice win. The opener at Princeton kind of went a lane up and took the lead on the high side. His dad's a good racer. Very consistent guy, wins a handful every single year. I can see Tommy Pagonis being exactly the same kind of driver to where he's super consistent, smooth, stays out of trouble, but always finds his way towards the front of the pack. At number 6, Tyler Larson. The kid, not the dad. Dad is Dean, right? So we got the kid at 6. So he's got 2 shows, 1 win, 1 DNF. Not sure what happened there. Hopefully it wasn't nothing major, but I think the car kind of shut off. So Tyler Larson, another consistent guy. He runs track championship type of guy. He had a pair of them last year. I'm going to put him 6. If I had to go head-to-head with the next 5, he'd be there. But I don't think he'd be the number 1 contender. We'll see by the end of the year. At number 5, Tyler Sekenga. I think it's Sekenga. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, please. 5 wins last year. This year, he's got 4 shows, 3 podiums, and the other one was a top 5. No wins yet. Okay? He's probably not real excited about Dean Larson coming out and racing against him, but probably going to make him a little faster. So Sekenga, a guy, 2022 National Rookie of the Year, track champion at Sheridan last year. Kid can wheel a car, right? I have a feeling that he's going to kind of, as long as you stay consistent, if you're constantly running on the podium, that means that you're in contention for wins. They're coming, I promise. Number 4, Bob Holtquist, double-digit win guy, plain and simple. At the end of the year, he's going to be one of the drivers in the Mod 4 division with double-digit feature wins. 6 shows, 2 top 5s. Both of the top 5s that he had were wins. He had a couple DNFs as well. Kind of been a little bit up and down, right, to start the season. A couple of the nights, maybe track had a little something to do with it, right? It just early season kind of woes. But Holtquist, a guy that always finds his way to the front of the pack. And right now, it's him at number 4. At number 3, the Silver Bullet, Dean Larson. I know. Everybody's like, he's got 9 wins. How do you have him 3rd? Well, he didn't win those races when he was at home against the next two guys. Okay. So if I had to put him head to head against the next two, he'd be behind them. It just is what it is. He's having a hell of a season, but we'll see what happens when he races a little closer to home if he can keep those winning ways going. At number 2, Tommy Bowden, TB 81, 6 shows, 4 seconds to third. No wins yet. He's so dang close. 4 seconds. All right, here's the deal. If he don't win a feature, and if he gets to 10 second place finishes before he scores his first feature win of the year, I'm sending this dude a bridesmaid dress. I mean, come on, guy. Come on, right? Come on now. Second place is great, but hunt them wins. And he's been there. He's been close. I feel like he's definitely going to score a bunch of wins, and it's got to be just eating at him. And at number 1 right now, your defending national champion, Dustin Holtquist. This week, he had a third and a first, both of them on the podium. 6 shows, 4 podiums out of the 6. 5 top 5s, kind of been up and down a little bit. And you're not the reigning national champion on accident. It's just not the way it works. He's going to be double digit. I think any of these top 4 or 5 drivers right now, you just kind of put them in a mix, and it'd be a hell of a lot of fun seeing them compete every single night. But right now, the number 1 spot goes to Dustin Holtquist. So a lot of racing action, folks, this weekend, right? So I'm gonna try to stay on my toes so I can get this dang show out earlier in the week, right? Because I know racing's, you're watching this on Friday. Racing happened last night, Thursday night already. I'm gonna do my best. Thought it'd be easier in this truck to kind of find some time, but it is what it is. So hope you enjoy the show. Put in the comments, right? Who do you think should be the top 3 in each of these classes? Who do you think are some of the drivers to watch? And we'll be back next week. Happy Memorial Day. Be safe. Remember what Memorial Day is all about. Thanks for tuning in to the One to Go Show.